Welcome back to the News at 10. Nigeria will be hosting the rest of the world in Abuja tomorrow at this year's World Pension Summit, tagged Africa Special. The opening is to be chaired by Nigeria's President, Muhammadu Buhari, and the closing will feature the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The event will feature key players in the pension sector, and issues surrounding payment of benefits will be focused on. And now to the arts. The Arabic word salam has the root as the same word Islam, as both share ideologies that border on peace. The greeting, Assalamu alaikum, has the literal meaning, peace be upon you, and one artist, Ridwan Oshinowo, is using art to spread further the message of peace the Islamic religion urges its followers to practice. Art Review tonight looks at how one man attempts to sow positive seeds in the world through creativity.
Seeds of Peace, the sower and the envoy, the result of months of toiling behind closed doors, has been put out for everyone to see. Ridwan Oshinowo exhibits over 20 works of Islamic art at the National Museum, Lagos, showcasing the latest technique he has been working on and how it all comes together.
This is an exhibition that is not always common. Maybe the last one we had was 3 years ago in Abuja, and the last one we had in Lagos was about 6 years ago. I don't just exhibit, but I have message to pass, and that is why I have this seed of peace, the sower and the envoy, because it's a strong message.
The beauty of calligraphy is seen here, as words from the Holy Quran are infused into these works with an instruction for the faithful.
To make these art pieces takes time. We've been on this one now for the past 1 year, and we can only bring out 50 pieces. But they are very good quality pieces, and hopefully sometime in future we intend to make it an international Islamic art exhibition.
So it's more than just the aesthetics. The message is key, and the messenger is only an instrument for conveying this to the viewer. So each piece represents a seed, playing up all the virtues that birth peace. A new type of framing has been introduced to complement each work of art. A lot of gold and brown adds to the aesthetics. In keeping with the dictates of Islam, this artist does not go overboard, but restricts himself to what his religion permits, and is still able to bring out beauty from it all. A lot of art patrons are here to give support to not just the artist, but the message, one they feel cannot be overemphasized, especially during these times.
This is us depicting what Islam says and everything about Islam. It is not all about violence, and it is all about being indoor, but creativity is part of Islam. Even during the time of the Prophet, there has been creativity. When you go to the Arab world, in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, you see so many beautiful artworks depicting what the Prophet has told us. Because Islam talks about the Quran and the Sunnah, that's the sayings of the Prophet. And everything here is evolving around what the Prophet has told us and what the Quran has told us.
The average Muslim person is a conservative person. But with this show, I think there is a break between that conservatism and contemporary. The artist has been very contemporary. He's been able to contemporize his works to the extent that an average Muslim cleric who want to put any of these works in his own.
There's also a clarion call for everyone to do what they can and use the arts for change. Ridwan Oshinowo hopes that the seeds he has sown through these works of art fall on fertile ground and bear fruit in the viewer, who is just a part of the envoy that has been sent to heal the world.
To the Nigeria Professional Football League now. Enyimba lead at the top of the table has been their lead at the top of the table has been cut to just 3 points after they lost 2-1 at regional rivals Heartland earlier today in Owerri. Enyimba on 58 points, 3 points clear of second-placed Warri Wolves with 6 rounds of matches till the end of the season. Dolphins remain stuck in the drop zone after they played out a goalless draw with FC Fayumba in Port Harcourt. El Kanemi Warriors beat another Port Harcourt team, Sharks, by 2-0. Kano Pillars have remained unbeaten in the last 4 games after they held hosts Giwa FC to a goalless draw at the Rangpam Stadium. In other games, Wiki stay in the hunt for the title after a 1-0 win over FC Taraba. Nasarawa United beat Lobi Stars 1-0. Kwara United edged out Aqua United 2-1. Super Eagles striker Ahmed Musa earlier today netted his 6th league goal of the season as CSKA Moscow beat Dynamo Moscow 2-0 to extend their lead at the top of the Russia Premier League to 29 points from 11 league games. Pontus Wernbloom opened scoring in the 47th minute before Musa, who has been in impressive form this season, made it 2 in the 77th minute. Ahmed Musa has now netted 9 goals in all competitions and is also the leading goal scorer in the Russian Premier League alongside Brazilian Zenit St. Petersburg forward Hulk. Liverpool has sacked manager Brendan Rodgers with immediate effect. The Reds drew 1-1 with Everton earlier today to leave them 10th in the Premier League and 6 points off the top spot. The result also leaves the Anfield club with just 1 win in their last 9 games, and that has brought his time there to an end. The club says the search for a new manager is underway, and they hope to make an appointment in a decisive and timely manner. Arsenal this evening defeated Manchester United 3-0 in the opening 20 minutes as the Gunners moved up to second in the English Premier League table. As we can see there, United had no answer to Arsenal's opening burst as Alexis Sanchez and Mesut Ozil scored twice in 74 seconds. Sanchez added a third from 18 yards as the Gunners beat United for the second time in 14 league meetings. Manchester United improved after the break but found it difficult to pass Arsenal defence line. The defeat leaves Louis van Gaal's side in 3rd place behind Arsenal on goal difference. Tottenham Hotspur continued their impressive recent run as 2 superb free kicks from Christian Eriksen earned them a point at Swansea. Earlier, Romelu Lukaku's equaliser earned Everton a draw against Liverpool in the 225th Merseyside derby. Away from sports news now, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has criticized the US-led coalition and its airstrikes in Syria and Iraq, calling them counterproductive, with terrorism still spreading. According to President Bashar al-Assad, unlike the US-led coalition, Syria, Russia, Iran and Iraq were united in battling terrorism and will achieve practical results, and a coalition between them must succeed to avoid destruction of the entire region. Russia has carried out more airstrikes in Syria, which it says are targeted at Islamic State's positions. But Syrian activists say the raids appear to have focused on other rebel groups. Meanwhile, President al-Assad is standing his ground that issues about Syria's political system or officials are internal affairs. This says amidst calls for him to step down as part of solutions to the country's 4-year-old civil war. 16 people have been killed after violent storms and flooding hit southeastern France, with 3 more said to be missing. Officials say 3 elderly people drowned when their retirement home near the city of Antibes was flooded. Others died trapped in cars and tunnels and underground car parks as the waters rose. French President François Hollande has announced a state of natural disaster in the affected region. He offered condolences as he visited the retirement home in the town of Biot and urged residents in the region to remain cautious, saying it's not over. The French Riviera, which lies on the Mediterranean coast and borders Italy, was hit by heavy rains on Saturday evening. River Bragg bursted banks, sending floodwaters into nearby towns and cities. The main motorway through the area has been closed, trains halted, and hundreds of tourists seeking shelter at Nice airport overnight. There are currently 27,000 homes without power.
On est arrivé dans le rond-point, beaucoup d'eau
Police have banned Palestinians from East Jerusalem from entering the Old City for 2 days after violence erupted following the stabbing of an Israeli couple in the West Bank. 2 Israelis were killed and 3 others injured in separate attacks in Jerusalem by Palestinians who were then shot dead by police. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu this evening held security officials in emergency talks. The restrictions will stop Palestinians from entering the Old City unless they live there, but Israelis, local business owners and school children will be allowed in. The first stabbing incident took place yesterday, just after the end of the Jewish Sabbath, close to Lions Gate in the Old City. The victims were said to have been passing near the entrance of the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound en route to the Western Wall. And the main news again. The president has visited victims of Friday night's bomb blasts from Yaya and Kuje at the National Hospital. President Muhammadu Buhari, who met with the hospital's management, also promised to investigate the attacks. Calm has returned fully to Kuje and Yaya after the multiple bomb blasts. However, there's still heavy security presence at the scenes of the incidents. Also, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has criticized US-led coalition and airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. President Assad has warned that the coalition of Syria, Iran, Iraq and Russia must succeed, otherwise it would mean the destruction of the entire Middle East. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.